Hi and welcome to Season 2 of the World of Company Secretaries. Today we have with us Daksh Acharya. He is a company secretary and a qualified lawyer. And to top it all, he is an active YouTuber who makes a lot of videos. He's made around 70 plus videos on helping CS students achieve their dream goals. Also, he makes videos related to startups, entrepreneurship and a lot more. So we'll get to know you in this episode. Hi Daksh, where do you work now and just brief us about you.
So first of all, thank you very much for having me here. It's like a dream come true for me. So I have seen many interviews of various professionals which were done by Ekcel Academy. I remember one is of some of the company secretary from Wipro and another is of past president of ICSI. So I have been following this channel since I was in executive. So it's a big thing for me that I used to watch so many videos virtually and today I am here.
It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Yeah. So currently I am working at Infosys Limited as an associate in the corporate secretarial department. Before Infosys, for a brief period of time, I worked at Ernst & Young EY, which is one of the big four firms. In 2021, I worked there. And my internship, to give you a background, I have done my internship from L&T Infotech, which is a public listed company. It's in Mumbai. So basically, I am based out of Mumbai. This Infosys job is in Bangalore, but previous two employments were in Mumbai only. So training I have done from L&T Infotech, and before that I cleared my CS professional in December 2019 with All India rank 22. So that was a bit of background of my journey.
What a feather on your cap. It was a phenomenal achievement. Let's get there soon. So the general question goes like, when did you first hear about your CS course and what made you take this up?
So it was very unexpected for me. From childhood, my dream was to pursue an hotel management course. Not because I was interested in it, but I was. So to give you a background, I am a very average student. Although I have got the rank, but I am not a studious type of student. I am a typical backbencher, and I am a very average student.
Students, please note. Please note. He said he's an average student, but he managed to score an All India rank 22. That's amazing. So
hotel management was such a course for me at that point in time where I used to think that I don't need to study much. There will be just practical things, and that's why I used to like that course. But my parents knew that what is the logic behind thinking the hotel management. So they didn't allow me to pursue that course because they knew that it was out of the laziness that I was doing that course rather than my interest. So then they asked me to do some other course, and I remember one of my childhood friend, he was pursuing company secretary course. So then I just figured out it's like the company secretary course is more relating to corporate laws, and from beginning only I had more interest in theory subjects, and also I thought let's give it a try. At that time I wasn't sure like will this be the journey I will be pursuing or not, but at that time I didn't had much option. So from hotel management I switched to CS course. Like I didn't start hotel management course, but from childhood I had planned to do that course.
Two vast ideas and your parents pushed you and now you're here.
Correct. I am happy they made me realize the right thing, because my mindset for that hotel management course was not because I was interested, but because I thought it is a easy course, although it's not an easy course, but at that point in time I used to think like that.
Wonderful. So talking on that feather on your cap, All India rank 22 is a big achievement. Can you tell us how you managed to get that rank?
So it's a once in a lifetime moment for every student. It's a big thing. Clearing the CS exams itself is a big thing, clearing all the 9 subjects in a go. So coming back to your question, how did I manage? So I usually wherever I go for an interview, I tell that the full form of CS is company secretary for who have qualified. But for students, it is commitment and sacrifice.
Absolutely.
So you need to be extremely committed and consistent. Like you need to consistently study for over a period of days, months and weeks consistently, and you need to do a lots of sacrifices. Like the journey won't be easy, but it will be worth it. So like I started my exams were in December 2019 term. So I started my studies from June 2019, and in 6 months somehow daily I used to study for some 12-13 hours because I had less amount of time as compared to others. So to give a background, previously I had joined one face-to-face classes, but I didn't found it that
Okay.
useful, so I switched to online classes at that point in time. So my study started from June, although it should have been started from much previously.
earlier.
Like around April after the results, but I didn't had much time, so I started by June, and then studying daily consistently was a challenge for me. So I will repeat that, like to clear the CS course, the full form for students should be commitment, consistency, and this will be sacrifice.
So with a lot of commitment and sacrifice, you always will have that tag with you, AIR 22.
Correct, yes.
And it's just a proud moment, right?
Yes, so it's like 6 months of hard work, but the thing stays with you forever.
Forever.
Like wherever you go, you get recognized by that All India rank. Even if you don't get an All India rank, the CS prefix is a big thing. Like wherever you go, people will recognize you, they will respect you.
What an inspiration you
Right.
are.
Thank you very much.
So you told us you did your articleship training in L&T Infotech. So it's a big company. How did it help you, and tell us more about it?
Yeah, it really helped me a lot, and there is one very interesting story. So like when I was in L&T Infotech, I was the only trainee there. So this is the reason I got to learn a lot. So generally they have more trainees, but what had happened, I joined on, my date of joining was March 5th, and by March 20 the COVID pandemic started. So
Okay.
as you all must be aware that like in most of the companies there was hiring freeze, so they were not taking any more trainees or even employees. So I was the only trainee there, and there all other people were senior, no other trainee. So I got assignments from everyone, and that's why I got to learn a lot, from listing compliances to ESOP allotment to insider trading to board meetings, committee meetings, everything. I got a very good exposure, and that's why the base was so strong. That's why I could get into good organizations as an fresher.
Right. So usually during articleship, seniors tell you should take work. and
Exactly,
learn it.
exactly.
You're never given work. So
Exactly. I will share my experience. Like since I was the only trainee, the workload was very much there. So at that point in time, I used to see my other friends who are doing training at other places. They used to be free by 5:36, and I used to be like, why am I working so hard, and why did I join here? That was a thinking for a certain point of time where the workload was very much. But now I am realizing that 1 year of extreme hard work is that's made me get into this organizations where I am working now. So as a trainee, you may think that you are being given a lot of work, but you will realize when after learning all these things, when you get into good organizations, you will realize that it's
So you
because
get
of
to
your
work in many departments. You get to learn a lot of other work,
Exactly.
which your other trainees might not be exposed to.
Correct. You might get frustrated when you are working 10, 12, 15 hours a day during board meetings and all as a trainee, but that will be a temporary thing. After 1 year or 21 months of training, you will be in a situation where you can get into any good organization and you can get paid well
So
with
the
a good amount of
exposure
fees.
is going to help you get
Exactly.
into great jobs, land up in a great job.
Exactly, and not only big names. You can join any good organization where you can get to learn, because big names you can add in your CV at any point of time in your career. But once you have a good foundation of your training, then you can easily join any good organization.
So dear students, take the Daksh Acharya's advice, and before you go home early next time, just give it a thought. Should I stay back and learn a little more work? Is it going to help me land a better job? So give it a thought about that.
Yeah, at the moment you may feel frustrated, like it's 8 p.m., 9 p.m.
Definitely.
Everyone
of
is
course,
partying.
it's a pain, right? Articleship
Yeah.
usually is a pain where
Correct.
we just want to pack our bags and go home and get some rest. But again, the pain is worth it, and here is a live example. Usually, Big Fours are very attractive, and students find it is difficult to land up at a job in EY. So tell us, how did you land a job at EY, and more about it?
So it's a myth that there are not adequate opportunities for company secretaries in Big Four firms. So to be very honest, even when my training got completed, I was not aware that as a company secretary fresher, I can get into Big Four firm. Even myself, I used to think that Big Four firms are for chartered accountants, because since it's primarily they are auditing firms, but although they have just expanded their services to legal, HR, and cyber security, and there are various other domains in which they operate. So it's a big myth that as a company secretary, you can't go into any big four firm. Even I was not aware about that. There is a lack of awareness also. But going into a big four is difficult. But once you get there, once you get to learn new things, you meet with new people, you get new experiences. Once that name gets added on your CV, along with that good experience, not only the name, that relevant experience.
Did you prepare separately to get into such a company? What was your preparation?
No, not really, because I wasn't even sure that whether they will be hiring me as a company secretary fresher, because at that time I hadn't had that much of awareness whether they will be taking a company secretary or not. But afterwards, when I worked there, I got to know they hire company secretaries in large numbers. Like to give an idea, our team was at EY, our team was of 20 people. They have hired so many new company secretaries over the last few months, because I am in touch with my colleagues. So after joining, I got to know there are so many opportunities. But before joining, I wasn't preparing specifically for Big Four, because it was like, let's give it a try. If I get to join, it will be a big thing for me.
So you suggest students to give it a try and dream big.
Yeah, correct. And since now these people have the awareness, like me, many other people are also creating content on YouTube. They make them aware, like there are opportunities in Big Four firm as well.
I did go through your YouTube channel and it's quite interesting.
Thank you.
A lot of videos based on how a student can prepare for his exams and for interviews and land up at the right job, dream big. There are a lot of YouTube videos, so you can go check out. So it's called The Future Entrepreneur. His channel's name is called The Future Entrepreneur, and you also have a separate channel named
my own name, Daksh Acharya. So there recently only I have uploaded one video. Also, one more myth is that you can't go into Big Four firm without any reference. So people feel like if you are into Big Four firm, that's because you must be having any friends or relative or colleague in that firm.
It's a big myth, of course.
But I can give you live example. Like I didn't have any friend or colleague, past colleague, or any relative.
Have to be good at what you're doing.
And you need to do few basic things the right way, and you can also end up in Big Four firm. I have made a dedicated, it's like 18-20 minute video on this topic. Like even if you don't have a reference, how can you search the vacancies? So the biggest challenge talking in terms of Big Four firms is that people find it difficult to get the vacancy where they can apply. So I have shown the entire process by going on the website of one of the Big Four firm, that how can you apply, and that's
these
the
are very
simplest
basic things
way.
which students lack awareness.
Correct, exactly.
And I think it is a very big thing to crack a job or to even. It's just that they need to know the right source. They need to know how to find the right source.
Correct.
And for that, of course, there are people like Daksh
and channel like Ekcel Academy who spreads such awareness.
Yes.
Because I feel that there is a huge lack of awareness. Like even when I was a student, I can relate myself. Like even I wasn't aware about these opportunities, scope of CS in Big Four firms. Same things I have experienced, which young students are experiencing now.
Okay. So as we're talking about your YouTube channel, what made you start this YouTube channel? And it's growing every day and it has quite good number of views. And it has quite good interesting content. So let us know what made you start this and what interests you more to do.
So talking about this CS related channel, this I have started a few months ago only, but from 2016 I had the other channel, The Future Entrepreneur. So apart from CS, I am also interested in topics such as startup financing, startup accelerator, and other programs relating to startups. So since 2016 I was creating content on that channel along with my CS journey. Then when I completed CS course and I created my LinkedIn profile, and I used to get messages like, how were you able to join Big Four firm? Only CS can join there. So after interacting with students and other people, I got to know that there is so much of lack of awareness. So I got an idea that I can
share your knowledge.
I can create a channel and share my experiences, share my knowledge, and help others to in their CS journey basically. So that was the main motive. Apart from that, this other channel, startup related, I have been running it since 5-6 years now.
Wow,
but all of a sudden I got an idea that why not create videos relating to our own community, CS community, and if that can help other students.
Wow,
so that was the basic idea.
And we wish you the best for your channel. I hope more students get benefited by it.
Thank you.
So go check out if you want to see and get benefited by it?
I will give one more example, like regarding lack of awareness. So most of the CS, what do they do after 12th? They start the CS course and they do 3 years BCom.
Absolutely.
Okay, so many people are not aware that ICSI has an MOU with IGNOU, Indira Gandhi National Open University,
Yes.
and through that MOU you can complete your BCom in 3 days.
Absolutely.
So there are so many students who are finding it difficult to do CS with BCom because the exams are
Because 3
at
years
the
is
same
a
time.
lot of time,
Exactly.
and investing it on a course like Bachelor of Commerce and putting your full-time efforts
Correct.
into a course like that,
Exactly.
and then starting your CS journey is going to further delay your qualification as a
Correct.
professional by 7 years. Let's say even after 12, 3 plus 3 years of articleship and clearing
Correct.
finals. Let's say around 7 years.
And every time the exams will be also held during the same time,
Right, it's
CS
going
and
to
BCom
clash.
exams.
So basically, it's just the lack of awareness which
Yes,
Daksh
exactly.
found, and he's tried to bridge the gap.
I made a video on that, and now so many people, students have registered for their for that course after getting to know that BCom can be. And I myself did it to show to them because they had confusion, like if we do this BCom,
Correct.
can we get job or not? So I have done that BCom. I got into EY. I got into Infosys.
So he just doesn't make video, he shows that he's doing it
Ha.
and then helps students.
Because you should lead by the example, right? Otherwise, people will think that you have not done that BCom, then how can you recommend us? So I didn't do that 3-year BCom. I completed my BCom in 3 days, 4 exams. That's it. I got my result also. I cleared it because it was the BCom
Wonderful.
exams are
I understand.
easy.
Correct.
So it doesn't make sense investing 3 important years to do something which can be done in 3 days,
Right.
especially with a professional course like CS.
Usually students face challenges during their initial stages of completing their professional course. So what were your initial challenges in landing up at a good job?
Initial challenges, I can say, generally we face it during the beginning of our internship. So I have said this in many of my videos as well. Since I didn't know much, there wasn't any mentor who could guide me. So my entire vacation after completing my professional exams, I didn't do anything productive. Now I have made a video on things that can be done during your vacation, which will help you to overcome these challenges.
The waiting period.
Exactly,
between your result.
2.5 months. So what mistake and challenges, what mistake I did is that I didn't learn Microsoft Word, Excel and PowerPoint, all these basic things during that vacation. So as a student, if you during this 2.5 months from your exam and between the results, even if you invest like 45 minutes, 1 hour daily for 30 days to learn the basics of, I'm not asking you to become an expert. Even I am not an expert in Word, Excel and PowerPoint. Even I am learning it. But at least if you
Just
can
use the time very effectively,
correct.
and instead of whiling away your entire time, because that is an uncertain period, whether you're
Correct.
going to pass or fail and what is going to happen, and usually it's just gone even
Correct,
before
correct.
it's in a blink of an eye, it's gone. So you use that time to prepare and upskill yourself.
Yeah, correct.
Whereas other students are usually
No,
not.
I couldn't use that. So
Sorry,
when
yes.
my training got started,
So we are saying that you should use it.
yeah,
Yes.
that's a mistake I made, and I want you all to learn from that mistake. Don't commit the same mistake, because I didn't have anyone to guide me. So entire 2.5 months, I will be honest, I did not do anything productive.
So
because
how did it make it difficult for you to?
So like my very first task was to be done on MS Excel. And for the first time in my life, I was opening Ekcel. Word we use generally also as a student, but I wasn't aware about the basic functions of the Ekcel. And the senior gave me the task, and I had to inform him that I don't know how to
It's
use
quite a
Excel.
disgrace to say that.
Exactly, it's
Yes.
embarrassing. And as a company secretary, you should know basic functions of it.
Right.
But at the time, I didn't have that much of awareness. There was nobody to guide me. I thought what my mindset was like, everything will be taught to me in the training. The trainer will explain me everything. Although they will explain you everything, but
you will
basic
not,
things.
You will never be spoon fed.
Exactly, that's what. They won't handhold you, like they will
Yes.
guide you, they will advise you. But
Yes.
these basic things like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and
Of
you
course.
should know. And also you can work on your communication skills.
Right.
I didn't do any of these things. So initial 2-3 months I faced quite a few challenges. But fortunately, I quickly got to know that what
So
needs
you
to be
sped up
learned.
with your preparation, and
exactly.
somehow you were able to
Correct.
get through that pace.
But just
now
imagine-
you have a job at Infosys.
Correct.
And what do you say about that? How did you get there, and what took you here?
So, regarding the job at Infosys, I would say that that's because of the foundation that I laid during my training. That was I got so much of exposure, as I previously also said, from ESOP allotment to LODR compliances to insider trading, board meeting, committee meetings. All that helped me to get into Infosys. So they were very happy with the skills that I had as a trainee. And also, I would say, like, apart from the skills, you need to work on your communication skills,
Right.
like how we
So we are
present
talking
ourselves.
of the skill set here. As we are talking about the skill set, what do you feel as a student, both even hard skills and soft skills? What do you think are the must-have skills a student must have?
So one is like everyone as a company secretary should keep themselves updated. Like
Right.
it's not like I have cleared the exams, I am a CS
It
now.
is a dynamic course.
Exactly. Every day there is some or the other change, right? So it's not like ki, okay, now my exams have got completed. I got the CS degree. Now I will never open the company sec. Now I will never
Yes.
see what the amendment is there from SEBI or MCA. So one thing is you constantly need to keep yourself updated. Otherwise you will be out of the business.
Right.
There are many professionals. That's what differentiates.
There's a big competition out there, and
Correct.
somebody is always better than you.
Exactly. So one is you need to keep yourself updated. It's not like you cleared your course and now you don't have any idea what's
Correct.
going on in the CS community or what's going on with the regulatory authorities.
That's with the hard skills. So
Yes.
what about the soft skills?
Soft skills, I would say communication skills is a
Yes.
very important skill to have. In fact, it's one of the underrated skill, and if you have good communication skills, you can join any organization. Like I would say it's at par with the other skills and knowledge and exposure which you have. So just imagine like you are good at many things, but you are not able to do basic communication with your
put
senior.
it on the table properly and reach out properly.
Yes, and
So-
specifically our job as a company secretary, we have to communicate with board of directors.
and communication comes through practice.
Exactly.
You cannot just say I will be good at communication one day. Someday I will be.
Correct,
It just
correct.
starts with talking to your friends,
Exactly.
talking to your colleagues and neighbors, and it's you start with your own circle.
Yeah, that's why in most of my videos I recommend people to create their LinkedIn profile and interact with professionals, like
Yes.
because there are some things which you can't learn by reading. Like example, I can give, if you want to be a cricketer, right? You can't keep practicing in a small room. You need to go out in the ground. You need to practically practice the game. Then only you will be able to perform. Even if I for 10 hours I sit in front of a television, learning how this shot is being played, that won't help, because some things you need to practically do
You have
in
to
order
get
to
into
learn
water
that.
to swim first.
Correct,
So,
exactly.
yes.
So you need to work on communication skills, and third is I would say how you present yourself, your personality. Like there should be a positive attitude, an attitude where you are willing to learn new things. So
An open mindset with professionalism.
correct. So these all are very important. Like I feel that as a professionals we should have these basic skills.
Wonderful. As a young company secretary, what do you think are the opportunities in this profession? We're asking this because many CS students feel there isn't a bright future ahead.
Correct.
So what do you think about it?
So there are huge amount of opportunities, and day by day the areas where company secretaries can share his knowledge, can give his services are expanding. There are various regulations under which
There are new laws coming up.
Exactly, and the status of governance of overall Indian corporates, it's going up.
Yes.
Right. So if you see the SEBI regulations, for an example, over a period of time, so you will observe that day by day they are making it more stricter.
Right.
They are focusing more on corporate governance, and to ensure good corporate governance, obviously you need a company secretary.
And they're bringing up laws which did not exist
Correct.
5 to 10 years back. And maybe in the future you'd never know what kind
Correct,
of new
correct.
regulations are going to come.
Correct.
And that is the scope
Exactly.
for a company secretary to
Exactly.
work on.
There are lots of opportunities, but you need to develop yourself that you can grab that opportunities.
Correct.
There are so many company secretaries out there, but you need to have some added skills. Why a company should hire you, basically, right?
Right.
So like example, I am working in Infosys, I worked at EY, so they will have thousands of options. If they put up one vacancy on WhatsApp group, next day they will receive thousands of
Correct,
CVs.
correct.
So what differentiates with you from others? Why should they hire you? What additional
What
skills
makes
they
you
have?
unique,
Yeah,
basically.
correct. So that's the main thing. Opportunities are there, but we need to develop ourselves to get grab those opportunities.
Yes.
And the scope is very bright, and while you study, you may communicate with few people who may demotivate you ki yaar there is no scope in CS,
This is a profession which is not going to become obsolete.
yeah, in couple of years ago there was some amendment in the limit, so people were extremely demotivated. Like the
Absolutely.
limit for appointment of CS got changed. Now they will
Right.
not appoint CS. Now CS
Yes.
jobs will go away. This was the
Yes.
myth which were going on in social media. So these are the most of the time I see these are the students who were
Right.
previously doing CS course, but unfortunately for some reason they could not clear, or they had to leave in between, and then I think they share this myth with others that I left because there was no
So
scope.
briefly, we are assuring you that there is a bright future ahead for CS students.
Yeah,
And again, CS is a course where exams are back to back,
Correct.
right? So you wrote 9 papers back to back and you scored an All India rank 22. And students are always wondering, how do you do that? So how did you do that?
correct. Clearing all the 9 subjects itself is a big challenge.
Absolutely.
All India rank is like icing over the
Cake, of course.
cake. Correct. So it's one of the biggest challenges to appear for all 9 papers in one go. And you to give a background, like during my exams, the exam had got postponed for some issues which were going on at that time. So during my exam, 9 papers were continuously in 9 days. So
Okay.
generally, if there is no such situation, if exams are not postponed, you get 2 holidays in between.
Okay.
One Sunday, and if there is another weekend, another Sunday coming,
Okay.
then you get 2 holidays between the 9 exams. But during my exams, 9 days, 9
It
exams.
should have been very hectic. And
Extremely.
Tell us how you managed. Of course, we know it is hectic, but students want to know, how did you do it?
So to get an understanding of all 9 subjects, learning things is easy, but to remember it. Like I will give you an example. Like I started my CRI subject, corporate restructuring, first. I completed in June month itself. Entire month I studied CRI subject, and then I took up due diligence subject. And after I completed that subject, I couldn't remember anything that I
It
studied.
feels like as if you're studying afresh.
Exactly, because there was lack of revision. Okay, so
Correct.
what I realized is studying is important, but revision is even more important.
Studying everybody does.
Ha.
Every student studies.
Correct.
But revision is something that not everybody does.
Correct.
So take it a point, guys. Even I tell you in a lot of videos of mine, revision and revise and recall. So an All India ranker is telling you, so study first and keep revising.
Because the main reason is there are 9 subjects. So if you study 3, and by the time you study next 3, you will tend to forget the things that you studied. But this will not happen if you constantly revise. Then the things will be fresh in your
Proper
head.
planning and taking
Yeah.
proper guidance and planning your things, sticking to your schedule.
Correct.
As you said, sacrifice comes in your very first point you said, CS.
Correct.
Is more about sacrifice.
Yes, exactly.
it
There
all
will
boils
be
down to
so
that.
many sacrifices. Like there will be marriages, especially for students appearing in December term. December, November is like a marriage season.
So sacrifice all the family functions
Exactly.
for a little while. Sacrifice some sleep also sometimes. But again, if you sacrifice too much sleep, you cannot.
Correct.
How you're right? I
Yeah.
think yes. So again, coming to what is your final message to the company secretary students who are watching out there? So what do you have to tell them?
So just keep going in your journey. You may have faced few attempts, but I can assure you that a number of attempts does not restrict the opportunities you may get. At the end of the day, it's the skills which you bring to the table, or for any organization. They will have a look at it. I have worked in various organizations, and I have observed that there are people with whom I have worked. They have took 3-4 attempts, and today they are in such a senior position.
Wow.
And nobody will 5 years down the line, nobody will ask you how many attempts you took in executive,
Absolutely.
how many attempts you took in professional. Like once you have 2-3 years of experience, they don't even ask you the number of attempts.
Correct.
Even for job, I was never asked how many attempts you took in the exams. Maybe somewhere training you may get asked regarding the number of attempts. But I can assure that even if you get any attempt, unfortunately, that won't restrict your scope. And another message I will give, that keep going in whichever stage of CS journey you are just keep going, situation will never be 100% perfect that okay, now I will start studying, now entire
Correct.
thing is perfect for me to study.
You have to make it perfect for yourself.
Yeah, there will always be challenges. Like during my entire CS journey, there have been n number of challenges. Situation will never be perfect. Like
So giving excuses will not help.
Exactly. Like I will tell you one thing. Like my exams were in December, and in September month, I had this fracture, hairline fracture in the wrist. So I wasn't able to write for more than 5-7 days. And from September, my treatment was going on. The same hand, right hand from which I write, and that kept me, pushing below. Like, will I be able to write the exams or not? But my family kept me motivated. Like, you just do what's in your control, right? You don't know whether 3 months down the line you be able to write perfectly or not. But what's in your control?
You can study now.
Exactly. You can give what students do. They stress about things which are beyond their control, like how the examiner will check my paper, how the paper will be. You can't predict all those things. You can't predict the result, but the process is in your hand. So one advice is like always focus on the process, because that's in your hand. Like example, for anyone appearing in December, the process from till date to December month, they have the control of it.
Absolutely.
But they don't have control about how that 9 papers will go.
So take control of your time, put your head down and study, focus on your preparation, and leave the rest to God.
Correct.
You don't know what is going to happen.
And be concerned about the things where you have the control. You can't control how the paper will be.
So next time, before you ask a question, how will the exam paper be? How will the examiner correct? Will I pass? Will I fail? Instead, let us put all our time in preparing, and of course, how well you prepare, so
Correct.
good the results are going to come out.
And also one more thing, I believe that I have experienced this. Whenever you you are going to achieve something big, God will test you, like whether you deserve it or not. Because I have experienced this entire
Absolutely.
thing in my
I
entire
had this
journey.
in my life as well, and you get it only when you deserve
Exactly. So CS is a big thing. So what I believe is that he will test you whether you are actually willing to put in that work,
it.
whether
So
you are
secretly seeing all your efforts.
exactly. So a situation will never be perfect. There will be 110%. There will be some challenges going into the exam. You will be never like, okay, I know entire module, each and every page of the module.
Nobody is 100%
exactly.
prepared. And All
Exactly.
India ranker is telling you, listen to him. Nobody is 100% prepared. All you need to do is just go face it, and of course, the universe is going to help you. God is going to help
correct.
you.
Even if you defer the exam 2-5 times, that won't help. Like a situation will never be perfect. There will be challenges. So one day before my exam, I wasn't sure whether I will be able to write the paper or not. So I remember my first exam. The next day it was CRI paper, because the exams had got postponed, the timetable got changed, and one day before I was at the doctor's place. Like couple of days ago, I had taken an injection here, a painkiller steroid injection, so that the pain gets reduced. Exactly. And that injection generally the doctor informed me they don't give, but since I had my exam, because after giving that injection there is a big swelling, so I wasn't even able to keep my hand upright. And one day before the exam also I wasn't able to write, and then that day he again treated me on the area where I had pain.
So God helps you when you help
Exactly.
yourself.
And the next day before every exam I used to check whether I am able to write on my that hall ticket. On the back side I used to just write few words just to see whether I will be able to write my today's paper or not, because I had this fracture, and it took quite a few time. Even after clearing the exams, it took 1 year, because this fracture was quite painful for me. So I wasn't certain whether, even after putting so much of hard work, whether I will be able to write the paper. But what I thought is what's in my control. It's to study and revise
Trust the
things.
process.
Exactly.
And again, it's a long-term preparation. Do you hear? It is not one day before the exam preparation that he did and cleared his papers. So trust the process, believe in yourself, believe in everything around you. Just put your head down and study, and things will work out for you. So it was great to have you, Daksh. We had a wonderful conversation with you. So thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much again for inviting, and it's a pleasure to communicate with you and other students. I keep on interacting with them, but interacting through this platform is a big thing for me because I have seen multiple videos on this channel, and it's like today I am sitting in front of you and other professors. It's a big thing for me. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to have you. We are back with season 2 of the World of Company Secretaries. For more such episodes, stay subscribed.